The Ancient Science of Magic and Contemporary Psychology. Introduction. When we look back at ancient practices, what we often find is that they were not just about casting spells or summoning spirits, but were based on deep psychological insights. Long before modern psychology was even a field, people knew there were powerful forces within the mind. They understood, maybe in ways we're only beginning to see clearly now, that the way you think and what you believe has a huge impact on your experience of life. Ancient people, from Egyptian priests to Greek philosophers, tapped into these mental and spiritual forces to shape reality as they saw it. They performed rituals, meditated, created symbols, and used chants, each practice as a way to manage the mind, control emotions, and influence the world around them. The goal here is to reveal that the mental principles behind these practices have been passed down through generations because they work. Today, psychologists understand that rituals, intentions, and beliefs can change how we feel and behave. Ancient practices are like an early psychology, rooted in experience, designed to help people tap into emotional, mental, and even spiritual health. What is magic? Magic has been part of human culture for thousands of years. Ancient Egyptians, for instance, understand that magic, or Heka, was an energy that flowed through everything, connecting the gods, the world, and the people. They used rituals, amulets, and incantations to channel this energy. Mesopotamians, one of the earliest civilizations, also used magical rites, especially for protection and healing, and they even had magicians who acted almost as psychologists for the time, helping people handle their fears and hopes. In ancient Greece, there was a belief that philosophers like Pythagoras or Plato, even while they developed theories about numbers and forms, were practicing a kind of magical science. They saw magic as a natural force, much like gravity is to us today. Early Europeans, during the medieval period, believed in alchemy, an art that combined elements of chemistry and mysticism, aimed not only at turning metals into gold but also at transforming the soul, turning human lead into spiritual gold. In each culture, magic wasn't fantasy but an applied science. Ancient practitioners were like scientists, philosophers, and early psychologists, using methods based on what worked to heal, to connect with the unseen, or to find meaning in life. Today, science often explains many things that ancient people thought of as magic. For instance, the idea of manifestation, thinking positively to influence outcomes, might sound magical, but psychology shows us that belief and intention affect how we act. If you believe in yourself, you are more likely to take action, and the action is what creates the change. Today, magic serves as a metaphor for understanding deeper consciousness, guiding people to look beyond what they see and to explore the inner self, just as ancient magic did. Instead of proving magic literally, modern science finds in it a powerful way to understand how thoughts, beliefs, and intentions impact reality. Magic and symbolism. Symbols have always had power. From the Egyptian ankh representing life to the Mesopotamian tree of life symbolizing wisdom and connection, ancient people used symbols as a way to give meaning to unseen ideas. These symbols, whether talismans, sigils, or even colors and animals, were seen as bridges between the conscious and unconscious mind. Carl Jung, a pioneer in psychology, talked about archetypes, the universal symbols found across cultures. Archetypes, like the hero, the shadow, and the mother, appear in myths, dreams, and art worldwide. Jung believed that by understanding these symbols, we could understand the universal themes within the human mind, like our desires, fears, and sense of purpose. Ancient deities, spirits, and magical symbols weren't just random beliefs but powerful archetypes that brought people to reflect on different parts of themselves. In ancient Greece, gods represented different human qualities: wisdom, love, war. Engaging with these symbols helped people explore their own inner worlds. Symbols still hold power in modern life. Think of a wedding ring, a national flag, or a simple red heart emoji. Each symbol carries meaning and emotion. Today, We use tools like vision boards or personal mantras that serve as modern-day talismans to help focus our thoughts and remind us of our goals. Visualization techniques, common in psychology, ask us to picture ourselves succeeding or finding peace. When you visualize, you're creating a mental symbol that represents what you want, which can impact your mindset and behavior. Personal symbols or sigils can be anything from an image you create to a meaningful quote you repeat. Rituals have always been part of human life, serving as a way to establish structure, provide comfort, and even reduce fear. Ancient cultures performed rituals not just for religious reasons but because they offered a sense of control over an unpredictable world. In a way, the repeated actions gave people psychological relief, creating familiar patterns in life's chaos. Think of the ancient Egyptians performing daily rites for the gods, or the indigenous tribes dancing for rain. These rituals gave people assurance that they were in sync with the universe. Modern psychology understands that rituals can help regulate emotions and reduce anxiety. Exposure therapy and grounding techniques used by therapists today rely on structured, repeated actions that build a sense of safety and control. This sense of stability is why rituals, whether ancient or modern, remain powerful tools for managing stress and coping with life's challenges. In today's world, personalized rituals can provide the same grounding benefits that ancient practices did. Crafting a routine that includes setting aside time to meditate, reflect, or express gratitude can be incredibly grounding. By creating habits with clear intentions, you're making room for self-reflection and growth. For instance, lighting a candle to symbolize new beginnings or writing affirmations each morning can become powerful rituals that guide you through difficult times. Some people create psychological rituals like journaling to process emotions, or practicing gratitude before bed as a way to focus the mind. These small, intentional acts can shift the mind's focus from anxiety to stability, just as ancient rituals once did. Many ancient cultures used practices like chanting, meditation, and trance to enter altered states. Shamans, for example, would enter a trance state to communicate with the spirit world, while oracles in ancient Greece would use breathing techniques and sometimes natural substances to access deeper wisdom. These practices were gateways to parts of the mind otherwise hidden in daily life. The altered states allowed them to step outside of ordinary thought and gain new insights or healing energies. The point of these states wasn't simply to escape reality but to gain a broader understanding of it. They were a way to connect to something greater, be it a spirit, an inner truth, or universal wisdom. Today, psychology recognizes the power of altered states through practices like meditation and hypnosis. Research shows that meditation can improve focus, reduce stress, and even rewire parts of the brain for better emotional regulation. Hypnosis is another example, used to bypass ordinary mental blocks and tap into the subconscious. Sensory deprivation is yet another modern technique that shifts consciousness, allowing people to quiet the mind and experience thoughts and emotions from a fresh perspective. Modern exercises in meditation and breathwork are powerful tools for altering consciousness and promoting well-being. For instance, focusing on deep breathing calms the mind and body, leading to a more meditative state. Mindfulness practices that keep you grounded in the present moment can also be profoundly transformative. Today's psychologists often recommend simple mindfulness routines that don't require hours of meditation but offer similar benefits to those ancient practices. Alchemy as inner transformation. Alchemy wasn't only about turning metals into gold, it was about turning the lead of human experience, our hardships, doubts, and weaknesses, into the gold of inner wisdom. Alchemists saw transformation as a mental and spiritual journey, believing that the process of purification and refinement could lead to enlightenment. The emotional struggle was part of a greater journey of self-understanding. The concept of alchemy aligns closely with many modern therapy methods. Cognitive reframing, for example, is a process in therapy where a person learns to view challenging situations in a new light, changing negative thoughts into productive or constructive ones. This is much like the alchemical idea of taking something raw and imperfect and refining it into something meaningful and pure. Using inner alchemy today. Today, people can use tools like journaling, meditation, and introspection to transform emotions. Writing in a journal helps people sort out and reframe thoughts, while mindfulness practices encourage emotional regulation. These techniques work as inner alchemy, helping transform raw emotions into something valuable. Practicing introspection helps people learn to approach difficult feelings as an opportunity for self-growth, a philosophy that mirrors the ancient alchemical quest for transformation. The power of belief, suggestion, and manifestation. Belief and expectation in magic. Ancient practitioners of magic often placed significant focus on belief, not just as a ritual but as a tool for shaping reality. Whether in ancient Egyptian magic or Roman rituals, belief was seen as a force that made outcomes possible. They believed that faith and focus could turn intention into reality. This isn't far from the concept of manifestation today, where positive expectation is thought to help bring about desired outcomes. Studies in modern psychology reveal that belief can directly influence results, not because of supernatural forces but because belief affects behavior. When you believe in an outcome, you're more likely to take actions that align with that goal. This is why positive thinking, goal setting, and visualization are so effective. They help anchor our minds in a vision of success. Harnessing the power of belief today. Today, people use belief-based practices like visualization and positive affirmation as a way to reinforce personal goals. Psychologists even encourage these practices as part of mental health strategies. Visualization can be as simple as picturing yourself succeeding at a goal or imagining an outcome you desire. These are not empty exercises but ways to direct the mind, ensuring actions match intentions, much like how ancient rituals aimed to bring beliefs to life. Through understanding the ancient use of belief and applying it to modern goals, people can learn to harness their intentions in meaningful ways, drawing on the wisdom of the past to navigate their present and future. The principle of as above, so below, and its influence on the mind. The principle of as above, so below, is one of the core teachings in both ancient magic and alchemy. This phrase suggests that the patterns we see in the world around us are mirrored within our own minds. The stars, the earth, and the elements were all thought to influence, reflect, or even mirror our own thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. In ancient times, people observed the world closely, noting how the phases of the moon, the cycles of the seasons, and the movement of the stars seemed to correspond to human experiences of growth, struggle, and change. This became the basis for a belief that external forces and internal processes were deeply interconnected. Spells and affirmations as tools for strengthening belief and intention. Just as ancient people used spells to set intentions and bring about desired outcomes, modern psychology uses affirmations as a way to focus the mind and solidify goals. Spells and affirmations are similar in that both rely on the power of spoken words and intent. The spoken word has always been seen as a powerful tool for belief. Just as an ancient incantation might be repeated to focus one's will, affirmations work in the same way, repeated statements that help strengthen the mental focus and reinforce beliefs. Belief has a well-documented effect on our experiences. In psychology, the placebo effect is proof of how powerful belief can be. People given a fake pill often experience real changes in their symptoms simply because they believe they are receiving actual treatment. The self-fulfilling prophecy is similar. If you believe you're going to fail, you often act in ways that bring about that failure. Ancient magicians understood this principle intuitively, creating charms, amulets, and rituals to reinforce positive beliefs and deflect negativity. The psychological connection is strong here. By changing our beliefs, we can change our reality. Practical applications. Creating effective affirmations and setting clear intentions are key ways to shape beliefs in your favor. These techniques are practical applications of the ancient principle of as above, so below. By reframing limiting beliefs, focusing on positive outcomes, and reinforcing those with repeated affirmations, people can empower themselves to act in ways that align with their goals. In ancient times, people used amulets, protective spells, and purification rituals to set boundaries against negative energies. For example, Egyptian amulets were crafted with symbols that provided specific protections, while smudging rituals were used by indigenous cultures to cleanse spaces of negative energy. These protections acted as psychological shields, helping individuals feel safe and reinforcing mental boundaries. Modern psychological boundaries. Today, psychological boundaries serve a similar purpose. Mental health professionals often talk about the importance of boundaries for maintaining emotional well-being, particularly in situations that may cause stress or emotional overload. Defense mechanisms, such as compartmentalization or detachment, are mental strategies we use to keep a safe distance from emotional harm. These psychological boundaries mirror ancient protections and serve to create an inner space where individuals can find calm and balance. Creating protective practices today. Exercises like visualization, where you imagine a protective shield around yourself, can reinforce these boundaries. Another technique is to establish clear boundaries in relationships, creating mental shields for times of stress or negativity. These are modern ways to apply the wisdom of ancient practices. Synchronicities, signs, and psychological meaning-making. Signs and omens in ancient magic. Ancient cultures interpreted everyday occurrences as signs and omens. Birds flying in a particular direction, a certain kind of weather, or patterns in animal behavior were all believed to hold messages from the spiritual realm. These symbols were considered guidance, helping people make sense of the events around them. Psychology of synchronicity. Carl Jung called this phenomenon synchronicity, the meaningful coincidence of events that seem unrelated. Jung believed that synchronicities reveal the interconnectedness of all things and that our minds find patterns to create meaning in these events. Seeing a particular number or encountering the same symbol multiple times may feel like more than coincidence, it can serve as a guide. Finding meaning in everyday life. Techniques such as journaling, meditation, and reflection can help you notice synchronicities in your life. Practicing gratitude, paying attention to patterns, and being open to signs can help you interpret personal meanings constructively. Magic, manifestation, and the law of attraction. Manifestation in ancient practice. In many ancient practices, manifestation was a tool to invoke the divine and make desires a reality. Egyptian priests, for instance, would perform rituals to ask the gods for assistance, solidifying their intentions with offerings and prayers. These practices were a way to channel energy toward achieving desired outcomes. Modern theories of manifestation. The law of attraction has popularized the idea that positive thoughts attract positive outcomes, mirroring ancient beliefs about manifestation. Psychologically, this concept aligns with self-perception and focus. By directing attention to what we desire, we become more aware of opportunities that help bring those desires to life. Manifestation techniques. Visualization, affirmation, and actionable steps are effective ways to manifest. By clearly picturing what you want, repeating affirmations, and making small efforts in that direction, you set your mind on a path that can lead to real change. Modern psychology often validates what ancient wisdom has taught. Rituals, intention setting, symbols, and boundaries have been shown to have real psychological benefits, enhancing well-being and resilience. Inner alchemy, ritual, and boundaries are useful practices for personal growth. Integrating these with modern concepts like cognitive behavioral reframing or mindfulness can create a holistic approach that supports mental health. Balancing ancient and modern perspectives can help individuals enhance their well-being and find resilience in challenging times. By merging the past with the present, we create a path that leads to a stronger, more balanced life. Magic, in the sense of belief, mystery, and intention, is a timeless force. By blending logic with intuition, structure with creativity, and ancient wisdom with modern understanding, we can unlock our fullest potential. Magic serves as a reminder that there is always more to explore within ourselves, and through this journey, we find the power to shape our lives. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to keep the support going. Your engagement helps us reach more people with powerful messages and new content. Thank you for being part of this journey.